So you've been thinking of starting a vintage eBay business, but you're worried that it might be hard, that there might be things you don't know, that you might price things incorrectly, that basically you might waste a bunch of time and money trying to figure things out. Well, I have been there. I know what that feels like. But here's something that might surprise you and might make a difference. Last year, over 80% of Gen Zers bought something pre-owned or vintage. That's right. The younger generation is leading the charge when it comes to vintage. And it is exploding across eBay and other platforms. So if you've been sitting on the fence, wondering if this is something you want to go ahead and start, now is the time. Now is the time. There is money to be made, and it's a good thing to do for everyone, to recycle instead of throw it away. So I have sold now over 26,000 things on eBay. And if I could go back and talk to beginner Jennifer, these are the things I would tell her to make her life easier, save her time, money, and frustration. So I'd like to share those with you. And as I said, my name's Jennifer, and this is her Empowered Retirement. Number one is not all sourcing locations are created equal. And you might have this thought that, or you might have heard somewhere that you can walk into a thrift store and just find gold right away. And that's not necessarily true, and it may not be the very best place to start. What I found is the best is if you go to garage sales and private estate sales. So this is where you're buying directly from the people who own the vintage items that you're looking for. These would be sales that are advertised as either estate or multi-generational, or list that they have vintage or antiques. So most vintage things are found with the people who bought them a long time ago and have held on to them. Or they might be families that inherited these items, or it might be collectors who bought them. So going directly to these sellers will save you money, and it also gives you more of a sense of history to the item. You can ask questions. It's just a more personal experience. So when you're planning your route of sales to go to, you can do neighborhood sales, because some of those will have vintage items, some of them won't. What I found personally to be the best environment to find things, if you can find a mobile home community that's having a community sale where you can visit so many homes really quickly, and a lot of those people have the vintage things that they bought a long time ago. So that would be my number one suggestion. So when you're at these types of sales, these are the lowest prices that you'll probably find. How I would suggest shopping at these sales is generally, if it's like a house type of sale, I'll find like a bowl or a basket that I like, and I will just go around and put things in my basket. And no matter what, you want to have some type of a small pile. You put that pile on their sales table and you ask them how much it is. And don't say anything else. You don't want to say, start the sale by finding something and saying, will you take $20 for that? Because you have no idea what these people are thinking. They could think that thing is worth $50, or they could think that thing is worth $5. So put your group together, put it on the table, ask them how much it is, and wait to see what they say. And if the total is a little higher than you thought, like they're saying, 17 or something, and you could say, will you take 15? A lot of times they'll agree. Or if it really is a lot higher than you thought, then that's when you start asking for individual prices. And you say, okay, then I need to take a look and see what I'm not going to take with me. And sometimes they'll just say, oh, I'll just give it to you for what you want. Anyway, they're happy to get rid of things. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. And a lot of people feel that, that it's like unfair that you're getting things for cheaper. But generally, they're happy, and you are taking a risk, right? You're putting your money out there, you're buying things, and you do make some mistakes. There are some things that you won't end up selling. So that's the life of an entrepreneur. So go ahead and feel good about it. You're doing them a service by buying things, and you're doing a service to the people who buy from you. So number 2 is that you're going to want to buy everything, but everything that is shiny is not gold. Although at first you think it is. So you're enthusiastic, you're going out, you're buying things, and you get home and you put them down on the table and you're excited, but then you feel overwhelmed. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to get this stuff listed and I want to get started right away. So let me help you work on organization here. What saved my sanity was when I finally decided to buy these little plastic bins that are kind of translucent. They have a lid on them about the size of a shoebox, and they're stackable. And so then I started labeling them. And so I get back from sales and I would divide things up, and each one of the boxes was labeled, you know, brooches or military pins or necklaces or toys. Number 3, organization isn't just about staying sane, it is also about being efficient. And the reason it works that way is because if you're just pulling things out of a bin that are all similar, then that's going to be the fastest way to take pictures and the fastest way to make listings. You're not jumping from pins to necklaces to figurines to toys that would all have to be set up separately. You are efficiently doing it just like an assembly line. So that is how you go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling like a professional. Number 4, master the photo assembly line. So like I was saying, if you have your bin of things and you're pulling out, let's say, collector coins, and you take a picture of the top and then you turn it over and you take a picture of the bottom. And if there are any maker marks, you want to make sure that that's visible. And so you're just taking a picture of the first one, you move it over to the side, you take a picture of the second one. So these pictures aren't just pretty pictures, they are the proof of authenticity. I think that's what I'm trying to get to. This shows a collector exactly what item you have. Pictures sell the items. So number 5, underpromise and overdeliver. I've maintained my 100% positive feedback for years now, but in the beginning, it was a learning curve. The trick I found is that when we were just talking about pictures, you know, pictures are important not only for showing the item, but it's also important for showing the flaws. Because a vintage item is never perfect. Even if it's new old stock, it has storage wear because it has sat in a box for 50 years or something, and it's got a certain amount of discoloration or something. The thing that is tempting when you're first starting is to say, oh, this is excellent condition. And if you do that, what happens is that they buy it and they get it home, you know, it gets delivered to them, I guess, and they get out their little magnifying glasses and they look for a flaw. And they find a flaw that you didn't mention. And then they send you messages saying they want a partial refund. This is exactly what you said. You said it was flawless. Well, it's not worth your time to have to deal with that. Just realize vintage is just never going to be excellent condition. It's going to be good condition. And you want to put good condition, you do want to say that it has scratches. I always put scratches and wear because if they buy it and they're expecting scratches and wear, then they're perfectly happy, sometimes even thrilled when they don't find any scratches and wear. So you want to list the measurements of the item in your listing, you want to mention any flaws, and you want to take pictures of those flaws. That is how you'll cover yourself. You'll make your buyers happy. They know what they're getting, and it saves you a lot of headache. It makes happy feedback reviews, and so you're both happy. Number 6, the shipping debate. I used to sell everything with 100% free shipping. But after years, and when I had my full-time eBay business, I had thousands of items. And when there was a change in the postage rate, I had to go back, and even with bulk editing, you have to adjust all of your prices. It was such a big headache. And so I've gotten to the point where I do have the buyer pay shipping. So that's transparent, it's fair, and it's one less headache for you to have to manage. So number 7, patience is profit with vintage. You're waiting for that person that's looking for that playing card or that figurine with just their dog breed on it, which is not, like super popular, but when they find it, they're so excited and they're happy to find it. So here's the strategy. Start with an auction. You want to put it up at auction because being vintage, it is rare and it may get higher bids than what you're expecting. And now auctions automatically repeat, which is a good thing because like we were saying, sometimes vintage things that buyer isn't looking at the moment that you put yours up, but maybe they are in the next week or two. Sometimes I get multiple bids on like week 3 of the auction. Number 8, ship fast and leave feedback first. When I get that message that I got the sale, I go to print my label through eBay, and that's when I leave my feedback. And I say, thanks for a great eBay experience, for the fast payment. And personally, I feel like the buyer has done their job. I put that item up, they are purchasing it, they've paid in full, and that's all they need to do. What I need to do is to get that item to them in the same condition that it was when I listed it. So it is a mindset thing. Don't let a fear of bad buyers affect you. Realize that they're just a drop in the bucket, and it seems like they kind of go away after that learning curve is over. So just carry on, and you'll be very happy that almost all the buyers are perfect and happy to get what they get. So look, I am still here after 18 years, it'll be 18 years next month, as an eBay seller. I have never quit. I have kept learning. I keep going out there, sometimes more and sometimes less. And I did take one break when I moved. But overall, it's addicting because it's so fun to get those messages saying that you've got a sale, or to see something that you didn't have super high expectations go crazy in a bidding war. It is fun, it's rewarding, and it's a wonderful way of life, basically. So with Gen Z leading this revolution of vintage, there has never been a better time to get into a vintage eBay business. So everybody has the potential to have a successful eBay business. I really believe that. There are so many avenues that you can take, and vintage is the place to be right now. I hope you go out and take action, and I wish you all the best of luck. So I hope you subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next videos. I will try to cover more eBay things. So good luck out there. I hope you find things when you're outsourcing. Stay positive, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.